Today we are checking out Sampla X, which is a AI soul generator. It's a VST plugin that is available for both Windows and Mac, and it is made by the people that created Sampla. The link will be in the description, and you can use this code right here and get 20% off, but we're gonna just check it out right now. So the basic idea of this is to be able to generate your own samples or whatnot within your DAW, which is kind of different from all the other generators that are out there, because you would just have to use it either within their own DAW or on their own website or whatnot. And I think that's kind of unique, and I have a free version of it. So yeah, you can try it out for free. You get 3 free generations. So what I'm going to do here is simply generate something off top. I don't really have an idea yet, but I have prompts on deck though. So once you do that, it will take about 2 or 3 minutes for it to generate. So we'll get back in a second. And for some reason, it just automatically put me in the Pro Unlimited generations. I don't know why, but yeah, you can get 3 free generations. And let's just take a listen to the sample. Okay. We're going to be able to freak something nicer than this. The first thing that you'll notice is that when I press on the keyboard right over here, this MPK Mini, I don't get anything on the keys. So why is that an issue? Well, you have to go into play mode and you have to add your chops in. So I don't have any chops in or anything like that, not at this very moment, and it's kind of easy to do. One of the things that I would do, so we can get into that, is go to auto. So you can auto chop on this thing and it will give you markers. Now it would make more sense if you kind of trim something up, and of course FL Studio being what it is, you can just chop it up whenever. You can also drag your WAV file into your DAW, and then you can chop it up in whatever fashion that you want. But I'm going to use Sampla X. I'm going to get rid of that. And then I'm going to show you some other things. So you can also remove drums. You can also clear your chops or whatnot. You can drop your chops, your markers in any way that you want. So you just use this playhead here. And this is where I'm going to go into expand, so you can see that you can expand it. And of course, you can stretch it out to any size that you want, so that you can get the efficient chops that you desire. You can also scroll on the UI itself using your mouse wheel, and it will, or 2-finger gesture, and you can get a tighter detail of what you want to chop. So in this example here, if I want to add a marker right here, I will just hit this plus sign, and then when I hit the plus sign, I get a marker. And you can drag the marker anywhere that you want to. You got that flexibility. And if you see that you have this area not highlighted, that means that it is not in the proper area or whatever. So you can just continue to add stuff and then just drag it to wherever you want. So for this instance here, we have this chop and it tells you C4. Let's go ahead and drag this over real quick. And you see C4, and then you can just add and continue to add. One thing I would ask for a suggestion is for you to have some type of relative marker, because what this is like an endpoint. So when you're dragging it over, it's like an endpoint. So when I play on the keys, you can see that C4 is allowing me to do this. And I can bring it up in octave, and you can see that it's chopped. I know a big question will be if you can process the sample after the fact, like removing certain stems or even adding any effects, and the answer is yes, and I'll show you how. So working with this sample, you see where it says no drums or no lead vocals, add vinyl right here at the bottom left side of the screen. Let's go ahead and do no drums, and it will go through the process. So now that I went through the process here, if I was to play those exact same chops, you can hear that it's removed some of the drums. And you can undo this process as well. When I do the add vinyl effect, when I have this over here, you can clearly hear that it has some type of vinyl effect to it. And it's kind of nice, I ain't gonna lie. You can also clear things out, of course. I think I've already showed that. And you can also undo stuff. You can't redo stuff, but you can undo stuff. Last but not least, you have detect BPM and detect key. So if you want that information similar to like Serato sample, you can detect the BPM. They already have a BPM detected for me. It's 123. I don't know how accurate it is, but you can also detect the key here, and it is in the key of F major, and it does sound like an F major key. The other thing that you could do is you can mess with the pitch. So you can change the pitch of the sample. We'll do that in real time here. It would be cool in the future if they added something like time stretch. I think that would put this plugin over the top. So time stretching, and I think with time stretching, you have to pay a license or something like that. But then again, I've heard that for stem separation as well. So who knows what will be in the future. What I'm going to do now is just go into Sampler. So we're here at Sampler. I have saved stuff over here. And what I'm going to do is use a prompt, and then I'm going to copy and then paste it into Sampla X. Now we're back in the compact mode. What I'll do is I'll generate a prompt. There is a prompt library right here that you can use. So if you wanted to use any pre-made prompts, then you can do that. But I'll just use this because I think it's a little better if I use something that I already cooked up, and I will post it over here. And then I'll make sure that I have instrumental selected so I can get an instrumental and not any singing or anything like that. And then we'll hit generate. I changed my prompt because I didn't like what came out first. And this is what we got so far. So what I'm going to do is run it back to the very beginning. Not bad. What I'll do is try to generate something else because I want to see, how far can we take it. All right, so let's check it out right now. Let's go ahead and add no drums to the mix here, and it's going to go ahead and process things. Now the drums are suppressed. You can still hear the drums a little bit, but I'm not expecting perfection. So what I'm going to do is chop everything up. I do wish that the playhead was relative to wherever you put a marker. Like if I was to add a marker right here, and I got 5 splits or whatnot. So, I could just slide stuff over if I use this area right here. And then I can just go ahead and choose the splits. Again, I'm just going to do that. I do wish it was relative, but I'm going to chop it up anyways. So let's expand it here. I'm going to mess with some of the markers, and we should be on the way here. Let's go ahead and do that. This is my end result. And basically that's about it. I know people are going to clown me and tell me that my beat sucks, but yeah, I would agree with you on this one. So let me know how you feel about Sampla X. I'm going to weigh in with my takes. Some of the things I do like, of course, I do like the fact that you have the ability to pull up a music generator inside of your DAW and then generate your samples from there. But there are some things that and compliment sandwich because there's things that I want the devs to look at. One thing, I think the playhead, when you are playing the sample and you're adding your markers, should be relative to what the position is to make it a little easier. Dragging it and dropping it in is kind of it's a little more difficult than I would expect it to be. And there are a couple other things too as well. As a wish list, I will hope in the future that it will have real-time stretch to be more like the other plugins that are out that do similar things. Mind you that this is one of the few music generators that you will have in your DAW, so it's slightly new. So I'm cutting them some slack there. I do think it is a nice start. It's a nice start to something that could possibly change the future of how we make music. and I gotta respect that. The other thing that I would like to note, when you are making a sampler kind of plugin, I think it would make more sense to be mapped to C3 rather than C4. C3 is the root key to almost every pad-based MIDI controller, making it easier for you to play your samples on the pad, and it will help with sample chopping in general. That's my take on that. The other thing that I would like to say, I would like whatever you do inside of Sampla X, if it will stay like that in Sampla X. Like, for example, I actually worked on a beat last night, and when I pulled it up, it wasn't the same as what I did. I lost all the things that I chopped up and stuff like that. Like, I added pitch, and then it was hard for me to re-pitch it down to what it was. So I would think that should be worked on too. I don't know how y'all gonna do it. It's not my job. I'm just letting people know, let you guys know, because I love you guys over there, clearly. But overall, I think it is a great start to something that will be gigantic in the future. I also think that once people get used to this kind of workflow, we get past the whole shitification and all this other stuff, which only exists on channels like mine and not like channels, because there's other channels that talk about AI stuff and all that, and they don't get harassed to death for the AI stuff. I get it. You know, some people just don't like me, and that's cool, but holy crap. But once everybody gets established with this being a alternative workflow that will help you with your music production, then I think a lot of people will thoroughly enjoy it. There are a lot of people that do enjoy it. It's just that they are not as vocal as the anti guys. But overall, I do like this plugin, and I can't wait to see what the future holds. Again, link in the description box where you can check it out, and 20% off code.